In this video, I'm going to talk about turnover teams for your Airbnb rentals. These are the people that will make or break your business, and they will also be the people that give you the biggest headaches and the biggest frustrations as you battle through team after team after team. Now, one thing I've learned in business is that you want to be out of the operations as quick as you possibly can in order to be able to scale it. If you're not getting out the operations, you'll get sucked in, and it will prevent you from acquiring more units, which ultimately create more cash flow. You cannot get more cash flow in your business in the main unless you are building your portfolio. And something that I triggered onto fairly early in my journey was that I just needed to scale as quick as possible. The model works. It's a very much a rinse and repeat type model. So let's just get as many properties as possible. And I still have that attitude today because I always want the business to be moving forward. Now, I cannot do it if I haven't got a good team on the ground. We need to make sure that the properties are clean. We need to make sure that the properties are maintained, and we need to make sure that the guest experience is going to be a 5-star. If we do not put those pieces together, we haven't got a decent business. You cannot run a hospitality business without turnovers. Now, in my experience, and I've done it all, I had a cleaning and linen company at one point, I had cleaners on the books, I now use agencies. As you scale, you want to start looking at using agencies. I used to use the single self-employed individual who could maybe do a couple of cleans here and a couple of cleans there, in and around dropping the kids off from school and picking them up. And that worked okay, but as I've got bigger and bigger and bigger, they couldn't keep up with the demands, and quite often they would drop you in it, especially on a weekend, which Sundays can be one of our busiest days. That does not fly, it does not work for the business. So now I rely on agencies. The reason being is it's not my problem. If I can just get rid of the problem of operations and focus my entire team and my entire energy on finding more properties and doing more marketing to build a brand, which ultimately leads to finding more properties, then my business will create more cash flow. If I'm constantly focusing on the operations side of things, then we are not going to be focusing on what's going to create more cash flow, and ultimately we stagnate, or even worse, we lose a few properties and we actually start going back over. So for me, it's all about getting rid of the ops. Get rid of the ops as much as you can. If I had my time again, I would probably look at getting rid of the management side as well and just purely focus on finding deals. I think the portfolio would be bigger, and the trade-off in terms of how much I would pay a successful manager for how much I would be able to then grow would probably be worthwhile. So there's a million different ways you can get rid of the operations. Now, I say it all the time to my team, you can pass the task on, but you can't pass the responsibility on. So just because you're using an agency or you're using somebody else that's not connected to your business to run that side of your business for you, then it does not mean that you don't check up on them. We still have all of our different quality checks. I have 3 quality checks in play. I have one where my team, my internal team, the guest handling team, they have to review properties every single day, and they feed back who the cleaner was and ultimately what the issues were. By that, we can build a picture as to who is performing, who's not performing, and then we can have that conversation with that agency, because we use multiple agencies. Again, another lesson learned was putting my eggs all in one basket, and I got bitten badly by that. You want to have multiple agencies on the go. The second way we do it is we actually get the agency company to ensure that they're doing quality controls and feeding it back to us. So they have to do that as part of their job. And the third way is our maintenance guys that are on the ground, whenever they are in an area, they have access to our calendars. They will drop in and just do a quick once around the property, see what it's like. As long as obviously it's empty, they can dive in, have a look, see if there's any maintenance issues, but also have a keen eye on what the clean is and what the standard is. So that's how I control it, and that's how my preference is now. And if I had my time again, I would 100% look to just use agencies at the start. Downside you might have is if you haven't got a lot to offer an agency, they might not see cleaning one property as a big gig for them, and they might not take you on. So you might need to start where I started, but ultimately you've got to have reliable and trustworthy people working for you, and you've got to be checking what their work is like, and you've got to be listening to the guest reviews that come from bad cleans, or bad reviews will always tell you something that you can implement in your business and make it better. As always, don't forget to subscribe so you get tomorrow's video, which is all about dynamic pricing and how you can use these tools to massively increase your profit. And as always, If you want to accelerate your property journey, specifically in the serviced accommodation arena, which is my passion, then head over to my website, ryankluke.com, and book a call with my team, and we'll show you how you can accelerate your journey.